All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, streaming from Restream.io in our final race of the evening, the 72 pitch LMP class here at Lanes Raceway, a part of our Four Crowns and the last crown given in the fall series by Glenn Burden. We're excited. It's going to be our first makeup race here today. We got this one and 5 more, and the Four Crowns is over with, folks. Just 5 more weeks after this. And what we worked for all year long will come to a conclusion, and we will crown either our king again, Jay Latham, or a new king, depending on who turns the most laps in the Four Crowns. Everybody just got off and got them something to eat over at our local Subway, Livermore, Kentucky, 270-278-5999. Everybody got them a Subway sandwich there. They're also the sponsor of the Four Crowns with Fairview IT Management. And they threw up 1,000 extra bone sickles for these racers. And they are very appreciative of that. And we are thankful also for having sponsors for these guys. Nonetheless, we take a look here at the lineup of our first round robin. Gabriel Kirtley on red. Sean McMahon. Mitch. Hang on. Sean, how do you pronounce your last name? McCutcheon. Not McMahon. McCutcheon. Sean McCutcheon on white. Randy Kirtley on green. Bruce Bullington on orange. Guillermo Sire on blue. Jay Latham on yellow. And Glenn Burden on purple. Glenn Burden waving to the crowd. Randy Kirtley coming over here. He had to peel off the flannel earlier. He was getting hot. That tension of that race between him and Gabriel, he had to peel that flannel off. So no more Beetlejuice look. Randy Kirtley gets his car put on there. We're going to have us a exciting race here. This is what these guys have been waiting to race all day long. They love the 72 pitch. They get to choose their 4-inch flexi or laser cut chassis. Only thing, yeah, you get to choose it. Any 4-inch laser cut or flexi chassis. No, that's not a flexi or a laser cut chassis. That is a wing car chassis. Yeah, it is a flexi series. All right, racers, are you ready? Watch your lights. Yeah, so no wing car chassis, but other than that, any flexi chassis. They start off smooth. All these guys now with their new gear ratios, a lot more aggressive during the corners, a little bit more slow down speed, coming off that really strong straightaway. Let's get our first incident here today. And I believe that might be Sean. I can't really tell. White lane, that is Sean. Gonna take a strike there. Our leader right now, Guillermo Sire on blue lane. Let's get 2 cars involved in the incident together in the third corner. Let's see if we can get a better view here on the front blue. Gabriel Kirtley looks to be all right. The other two, not so much. So it's orange, which is Bruce, and green lane, which is Randy, taking strike. 4 red lights are dropping out to green. If you like what you see and you love slot car racing and hobby racing in general, give us a like, share, and subscribe. Gabriel Kirtley coming around to get 2 other cars. Randy Kirtley with a second strike there. He better be careful. And a second strike there for Sean also. We're not even 30 seconds into this baby. Four red lights are dropping out to green. We focus in on our leader right now, Guillermo, as he comes through the front stretch there. First, second, third, Hamilcump. And we get a yellow flag. Jay Latham coming off in the last corner. His first strike. Guillermo Sire there entering into the first corner. Currently leading by 1 lap. Sean made a comment on Guillermo's car before the race started, said that it is extremely fast. As Guillermo's trying to reel in Glenn Burden. Glenn Burden and Guillermo side by side down the backstretch through the camel hump. Guillermo taking the lead there. Guillermo coming in hot under that first corner, about to slam sideways into Randy Kirtley, but ended up negating that. So we get a yellow flag here. White Lane did not get the lap. See another car coming off. That's Gabriel Kirtley. In a horrible spot to have a wreck. Four red lights are dropping out to a green yet again. Exciting 72 pitch action here at Lanes Raceway. 1 minute left in this heat. Randy Kirtley coming down the backstretch looking smooth as he goes into the third corner there. We get another incident taking place there coming out of the second to last corner. I went over there and got me a Subway sandwich. Got the, I think it's called the Outlaw. It's got steak in it. Put some sriracha out on that dude. And banana peppers. It's almost like a steak pizza in a weird way. Bruce and Gabriel going to take strikes here. That's Gabriel's second. That is Bruce's second. We got 2 on red, 2 on white, 2 on green, 2 on orange, 1 on yellow. Anyways, I got that thing, and I got a little sriracha in my blistered thumb from stapling this track today, and it set the old thumb skin on fire. It's hot. 48 seconds left to go. Smooth racing, to say the very least. Here comes your leader, Guillermo Sire, down the front stretch. First, second, third corner, now the camel hump. He's kind of out there by himself currently. But he's coming into some traffic here as he comes around Bruce here. Oh, him and Bruce almost got into some contact action, but he was able to keep it. And he comes around, looks to be Glenn Burden, I believe. Down the camel hump, everybody's really smooth with these 72 pitches, guys. This is what makes this race so awesome. Because if nobody wrecks, it's really, really tight racing. It's like Formula One out here. Guillermo Sire going to bring home that first heat. A lot of wrecks. I'm going to clear out these strikes. We'll take a look here at the track mate. Guillermo out in the lead by 2 laps. Randy Kirtley there in second with 18. Glenn Burden and Sean tied with 17. Gabriel and Jay tied with 16. And Bruce Bulletin there with 13 laps. I'll leave you over here on the blue, let you watch these guys work. We'll be right back with you. right, about 5 seconds. We'll be back racing. We see Sean rolling around there. He's been very strong in the 72 pitch action here, too. Him and Gabriel about somewhere midfield here this race weekend, as Randy and Guillermo are really packing it in. Now, Randy has been doing a lot of practicing on this track. He's been coming in on some Saturdays and Thursday stuff and really putting in the work on this track, trying to get his car perfect. And you guys know the old Frost King. He's now coming around the backstretch there in the blue car. First, second, third. Oh, is he? I mentioned his name. That's it. I mentioned his name. He comes off, and him and Gabriel Kirtley involved in some incident action there. But he's been doing quite well. Sean, Glenn tied with 21. Gabriel tied with Jay with 20. Sean holding down that third position currently. My throat is on fire from sriracha sauce. Excuse me. Gabriel and Randy side by side yet again. Gabriel actually doing a little bit of modifying on his car as he comes into contact with Jay a little bit, kind of giving Jay a little bit of room as Jay was really holding him off there. Jay definitely don't want to let Gabriel pass simply because they're on the same lap together. They're fighting for position. But these cars, they can hold it. That's what I've noticed a lot of the times as we see the red lane of Sean taking a strike here. Now, this is definitely good news for Glenn, Jay, and Gabriel as they have been waiting for said event to take place from either Guillermo, Randy, or Sean, as they're wanting a piece of that podium pie. Four red lights drop out to green. Here we go. Your leader right now, Guillermo Sire on purple lane. See, he comes around second to last corner now. First, second, third corner, camel hump. Right in front of him is Glenn Burton. He's wanting to make a move, and Glenn Burton sends him to the wall. That's a horrible spot to have a wreck there, too. So we see Guillermo Sire take a strike there. Glenn Burton also coming off there, too. Four red lights dropping out to green. Here we go. Guillermo and Glenn side by side again. Maybe they can let each other by or something. I don't know. As they roll on through, Guillermo's going to make the aggressive choice there to pass Glenn. He's now in the third corner as we get a wreck in the second to the last corner there. And that is Bruce Bullington's car. Bruce Bullington going to take his first strike. This car definitely handling a lot better than the previous car. And a very cool body. It's like a McLaren body or something on that thing. It's awesome. Him and Jay both have the best looking bodies, to say the very least. Jay's representing the JK Porsche body. It's very cool, to say the least. It might be a Bentley, maybe. Ooh, is Glenn Burton and the Frost King himself, Randy Kirtley, get involved. And that's going to be two strikes for both of those guys. So they better pipe it down for 49 seconds. He's going to bring them around, get them set up. But ain't no love in war or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the proper saying that they used to say. Probably still say. Before red lights are going to drop out to a green. That's something I do know here at Lanes Raceway. And we are going back green racing. Your leader first, second, third, now in the camel hump. And he's side by side with Sean. Sean there on red lane in the yellowish green and white car as they go through the camel hump. They're coming up on Jay Latham. Jay Latham in the middle of them. They're able to make that pass in a big cluster of folks. But they all make it through clean, and a let off there from Glenn allows Guillermo to go by. Guillermo in the second to last corner, now in the front stretch first, second, third, and now camel hump. Still side by side with Sean. Him and Sean are just decking it out. Sean losing about 3 or 4 car lengths to him, but Sean's not giving up. as Sean makes a beautiful coast across red lane. There in the middle, though, looks to be Jay Latham's car coming off. He's going to receive a strike here. That'll be his first. All these guys are running impeccably here, making it a joy to watch, to say the least. If you guys like stock car racing and you want to get involved in this action and be one of these guys, come on down here. Let's get you set up. We hold no discrimination when it comes to getting you set up in a race car ready to go. So you just come on in. We'll get you set up. We'll get you out there on the race field or the racetrack. All right, folks, heading over here to the track mate, we can see Guillermo, 39 total laps, followed by Randy Kirtley there in second with 37. We got a three-way tie for third at Sean, Glenn, and Gabriel at 35 laps. Right there behind them is Jay Latham with 33 and Bruce with 26. So whoever wrecks out first is going to drop hard, and I mean hard. Heading back over here to the big blue screen where these guys are going to work on their cars, and we'll be right back with you. There we go, Bruce. That's going to be Gabriel when he goes to French Lick. All right, folks, here we go. 5 seconds, and we're going back green racing. I'm excited. I know you are. And it is a battle for that third position currently. We got a three-way tie, and a couple of people even below that bouting for those podium finishes. We get our first wreck here, and it is starting to come down hard in Livermore, Kentucky. Hopefully we don't have a rain out here on the LMP before we even get it started. DHL, that's going to be Jay Latham taking his first strike. Four red lights dropping out to green. Guillermo Sire, your leader right now, followed by Randy Kirtley. Guillermo coming around for his first. He's got Randy in his sights as they come around the backstretch again. First, second, third, camel hump. There's Randy Kirtley there in the Frost King blue car. Right behind him is Guillermo. They're about 16 foot apart from one another. Both of them running pretty close together the same amount of time. Guillermo's slowing her down a little bit, so he doesn't want to make too many mistakes here, holding on to the lead. But Randy's pushing it as he's about a tenth of a second or so faster median-wise. I'm sorry, Guillermo is now, as we get an update on the track there. Glenn Burton's going to receive a strike here. Four red lights dropping out to green. Here we go, folks. Sean and Gabriel tied at 41 laps, and Glenn Vernon right there with them at 40. Like I said, folks, somebody wrecks out of this thing, and it is a game changer. So we had a swap there from Sean to Gabriel. Gabriel now taking over third position, tied up with Sean, but he's making moves. Gabriel Kirtley currently on the backstretch now as he goes first, second, third, camel hump. And now he's trying to reel in one as we see a break point there from Randy Kirtley. Randy Kirtley right there in front of him. They're about 4 to 5 car lengths different from one another. Gabriel really pushing hard with his car, and he's gaining on Randy, but losing on the straight stretch. Randy Kirtley now has the advantage on the straight stretch where Gabriel did in the previous race. Gabriel making a glorious move around that first corner. I don't know how that baby hung, but he hung that baby around that first corner, and now he's ran it hard, and he got into a rider, and it sent him to the third corner hard and fast in a bad way. Tim Hall popping in saying, watching, hoping to see a lot of 1RC action Tuesday night. Gabriel won't be there. He's going to party in French Lick. He's going to have himself a good time up there for the New Year's, going with a couple friends. But other than that, I believe we're going to have quite a few coming. I know newcomer Action Jackson, also known as Goldust, possibly going to be there. So Gabriel and the Frost King himself going to take strikes here. They're first. Four red lights dropping out to a green. Man, I'd like to have a replay of Gabriel sticking that first corner, that one lap. Man, that thing was humming, boy. As he goes to the high outside there in the last corner. This is he's got the Piper down a smidge now. He possibly is being after that hard hit. Won't be able to find out for another 25 seconds though, really, just to keep the track rolling. Now he could hit the red button and put her on the block and be able to see under a red flag condition, but he's going to risk it. He just needs to stay alive now. So he's done lost too much time. Randy Kirtley there, 3 laps down from the leader, Guillermo Sire. Guillermo got a fast car there on black. So we get a yellow flag here. Him and Randy Kirtley are right at that camel hump together. And this car here is going to be Bruce Bullington taking a strike on red. Four red lights dropping out to green. Here we go. Guillermo Sire 3 laps up with another yellow flag. We see Jay Latham and Gabriel Kirtley coming off for his third time. 6 seconds left to go on the clock. And that's going to be for a solid lap. So you'll probably see Glenn Burton take Gabriel here. Jay's just a little bit too far behind for anything to take place there, or Bruce. But they will gain a lap up on Gabriel. Now Gabriel's at the mercy of people wrecking out here. As we get a red flag rotation, Gabriel was able to hang on to his position. So we clear those things out. We head over to the track mate. We take a look here. Guillermo Sire in the lead, 59 laps. Randy Kirtley, 56. 55 for Sean. 53 tied with Gabriel and Glenn. 50 for Jay. And 40 for Bruce Bullington. Going to go to scene 8. Let you watch these guys work. We'll be right back with you. Dude, that thing went up about 3 foot in the air. right, folks, here we go. Full red lights dropping out to green. Randy better run. I'm talking, he better get that sprint action on. Gabriel Kirtley still trying to hook his controller up. That cost Randy about a lap there. That's detrimental, big time. Sean now on the same lap as Randy. Just like I told you guys before, keep an eye on Sean. I knew he was building some good cars. I was watching his times. Get our first wreck here. And that's going to be Bruce Bullington taking a strike here. His first. Full red lights are dropping out to green. Here we go, folks. Oh, man. Car to the high side. That is going to be the Frost King himself, Randy Kirtley. Definitely not liking that, as he's going to definitely drop to third position, if not fourth. So he's having about as much luck as Gabriel Kirtley was having. Black Lane definitely not the strong suit for the Kirtley family here on the World's track. Guillermo Sire there out in the lead there on yellow, though, and he's doing a good job of it. He's keeping his car in. Guillermo having some trouble all race night long, too, but this race here, he's shining out bright. On back green, Gabriel Kirtley there currently on purple lane. Glenn Burden should be able to get pretty close to the piece of pie there with Randy. They're about a lap down difference from each other now. So we focus in on Randy here on black lane. Going first, second, third, camel hump. He's right there behind Guillermo. Now making a pass there on Sean, but Sean's not making it easy. Sean actually pulling away there in the corners. Sean got some good rhythm going there. Sean is making blue lane look easy. Randy pulling back, holding to his pace there at 6.054, averaging about the same as Sean. Just not pushing the subject there on black. This is probably a very good strategy. So we see a car come off. It looks to be Glenn Burden coming off. Good racing so far, though. Everybody running very, very good in these cars. Nobody giving an inch. Bowling down to literally a wreck, maybe two. Is this Frost King too? Frost King coming off also. Frost King currently in third position, taking his second strike. He's going to have to pipe it down for 30 seconds. If you think Randy needs to pipe it down, give me a pipe it down in the chat, Randy. Or pipe it down, Frost King, in the chat. Sean now taking over second position. Like I told you guys early on, Sean is pretty impressive with these flexi cars here. Just coming here to Lanes Raceway the past month, making some impressive changes to these cars, making good moves. Bruce Bullington there going to take a second strike there. Randy Kirtley lifting real hard there on black in the second to last corner there. He's just out for survival right now, folks. 18 seconds left to go. Glenn and Gabriel on the same lap, tied up. So we get a yellow flag here. It looks to be Gabriel Kirtley's car flying off in the second to the last corner. This is what's killing Gabriel's averages, because these harsh wrecks right before the start finish. told me be right before the heat. His issue is the gel tape on the car has come unstuck after that huge wreck, and this is causing the car to mishandle. Four red lights dropping out to a green. Here we go. Jay Latham coming off. Looks like Guillermo letting off a little too early. What happened? Okay, who hit the button? All right, then Jay gets a strike. Guillermo waited. Four red lights are dropping out to green. Here we go. And a red flag rotation. That was a pretty brutal little fourth heat. A lot of change-ups and stuff taking place there. So we take a look here at the track mate. Guillermo Sire, 79 laps, 75 for Sean, 72 tied for Glenn and Randy. They got some making up to do if they want to get in that top two position. 70 laps for Gabriel, same thing. 67 for Jay, same thing. Bruce Bullington there, 53 laps. So far, very eventful half bit of racing here. Special thanks to our sponsors, Fairview IT Management and Livermore Subway, for sponsoring the Four Crowns. Uh, let them know you appreciate them by next time you come into Lanes Raceway. Get you a sub sandwich or something. And special thanks to Fairview IT Management. Without them, we wouldn't have a nice little live stream rolling like this. So we appreciate all their hard work in getting this thing rolling up and sounding as good as it does. About 2 minutes, we'll be right back with you. You want me to get you some of that gel tape, Gabe? Did you? Well, you are too. What corner you sitting in? Guillermo. Y'all all have y'all's moments. Better roll, Glenn. All right, folks. Four red lights are dropping out. We are in round robin, 5 of 8. This race is moving on very quick. These guys know how to control these cars a lot better. They're very smooth handling cars. And it's some of the most fun racing here at Lanes Raceway. Yes, I understand they are somewhat quicker than what you could see there at the Hometown Heroes, but they make up for it in handling. They handle so much more better. And as long as you got good eyes and decent eye-hand coordination, all that, should be just fine. Bruce Bullington going to receive his first strike there. Guillermo Sire pretty much been leading all race long since Gabriel and Randy had issues. They're now with 80 total laps. You see him coming around here right now through the front stretch first. Going into the second corner. Glenn Burden there coming out. Glenn Burden going to receive a strike here. White. So we take a look at a different view here. You can see your leader right there coming into the second corner. Right behind him is Sean, your second position. Sean a little bit quicker there on purple, median-wise. A little bit slower for a best lap, though. Guillermo Sire first, second, third now in the camel hump. Right behind him is Sean, your second position. Guillermo Sire making a pass on the inside of Gabriel Kirtley, catching the wrong side of the shutdown. So we see Jay Latham's car coming off. He's going to receive a strike there on green. Your leader fixing to go into the camel hump here. Then right behind him is Gabriel, and right behind him is Sean. Sean's currently in your second position as Sean comes up on Gabriel in this third corner there as they're side by side. Get a little better view of it here. Gabriel there on black lane and Sean on purple. So we're going to see another strike here. It's going to be Glenn Burden receiving a strike there in the third to last corner. So Glenn Burden there on white lane going to take a strike. Checking white to see if the braid might possibly be rolled up. Glenn's got his fingers on it. So Glenn Burden now with two strikes, needs to pipe her down for a minute and 17 seconds. Going back green racing, your leader in the first, second, third corner. Now in the camel hump, so he makes a pass on Bruce Bullington, back onto the front stretch again. Camel hump. He's out in the middle between people, coming up on Randy and Jay Latham. Randy and Jay Latham there just a turn in front of Guillermo as they kind of spread out. Guillermo takes next to Jay Latham there in the yellow car. Jay Latham sends him to the wall. So Guillermo Sire going to take his first strike there. And looks like Randy Kirtley also caught up in some of that action. He's going to take a strike too, his first. Glenn Burden setting the cars back on. That is the Frost King in the blue car, and in the goldish blue and orangish color car, that is Guillermo Sire to start finish line, your leader. Guillermo going to the first, second, third corner now in the camel hump. Randy Kirtley out in the lead in front of him just by a hair, matching each other's speed down the back stretch or front stretch. Losing a little bit Randy in the first corner section. In the second corner section, Randy's just deciding to let Guillermo go on by. As we see Bruce Bullington coming out of the track in the last corner. That's going to be Bruce's second strike. 33 seconds left to go in round robin, 5 of 8. Bruce Bullington hitting the button. Here we go. 4 red lights dropping out to green yet again. You know the thing. Leader on the front stretch first, second, third corner into camel humps. He makes a pass on Gabriel Kirtley, coming back through the front stretch first, second, and now camel hump. He's coming in to reel in the white lane of Glenn Burden as he gets into some mixed traffic, making a pass nice and clean on both of them. Formula One-esque movement there as we see the car of Sean coming out. He's going to take a strike here as he wrecks in the third corner of the track. Coming down through the front stretch here, your leader, Guillermo Sire. Right behind him, Glenn Burden. As he comes in, he's wanting to take advantage, what he can, of making a pass there on Sean on purple. He's able to do so. He's got a very fast car. Coming on the outside of Jay, he's timid this time as Jay put him in the wall last time. And he backs on off a little bit, which is probably a wise decision. When the snake's ready to strike, back on up. They're all getting their cars unhooked now. Guillermo Sire in the lead, almost turning 100 laps there. Currently 99 total with a 19.8 on average, and he's doing quite well. Sean there in second with 95, averaging 19. 91 for Randy, averaging 18.2. Gabriel with 89, right there with him. 88 for Glenn, 85 for Jay, 66 for Bruce. Most top cat. I like that name. What city is this action? This is in a town called Livermore. It's about 17 miles south of Owensboro, Kentucky, which I guess would be a city, uh, a moderately sized city. So you're about 17 miles away from any kind of hotel action in any direction. But we are located in western Kentucky in a county called McLean County. Our address is 606A Hinton Street, Livermore, Kentucky. And we're trying to have some pretty good times racing slot cars. The track that you see here, when we swap back over here, is a replica of the 2023 Worlds track. It was actually a clone build for the Czech Republic, and they raced the 2023-24 Worlds in New Jersey. And that track, of course, went on to go to Piranha in California, and there's another one that went down to Brazil at Red Fox. So it's a pretty rare little track, and it's a very special track. The guys are eager to run on it a lot. So it's two of our races here at Lanes Raceway. And the 72 pitch is what the guys love the most. They really like running the 72 pitch. Good handling cars, high RPM, running Eagle motors from Mid-America. But yeah, if you're close by, most top cat, you come on in here, we'll get you set up, and you can run with these guys and have a good time. They race here every Sunday from 1 o'clock all the way to close. This is our final race of the evening. They've actually done quite well today. Not a whole lot of wrecks and stuff, so it's right now just 7:30. We're open till 9 o'clock here on Sundays. We will close early if everybody leaves. There's no reason to burn in light if nobody's in here. And if you know about rent and stuff like that, big places like this cost quite a bit. So we try to save money where we can. These guys are pretty good about it. We've got a good set of rules here. All the racers are in control of shutting the track off, not losing any time. The quicker you are on the button, the less time you lose. 3 strikes, you're out. Don't wreck. 4 red lights dropping. Here we go. Right now, Guillermo Sire, still your leader. He's been hanging on to it all race long. He's there on white lane as we kind of focus in on him. He's coming down the front stretch first, second, third corner. Now the camel hump as he's coming into the back portion of the track. He's by himself there in that bronzish colored car. Up close and personal, it's almost like a chrome illusion look. So he's in the first, second, third corner now, camel hump. He's going to make a pass on Bruce Bullington very shortly as we see a car coming out into the second to the last corner. And if I'm not mistaken, that looks like, I don't know whose car that is actually. Is that Guillermo's? No, that's Glenn's. Glenn's going to take a strike here and be his first. He's also checking the track there to make sure it ain't rolled up. And just put in perspective for you, Glenn bought this car last week. So Glenn, right now with 92 laps, he's hanging in there with these guys. You know, top of the line's 103 laps. You know, Jonathan, 1985 How? How's it going, Lanes Raceway? Well, it's going great, Jonathan. How about you? Guillermo Sire there on White Lane as he comes up to encroach on Glenn Burden's territory in the camel hump. Both of them giving each other room. Glenn actually blipping up and letting Guillermo go by. A kind gesture, to say the least. Staying out of Guillermo's way as Guillermo comes back around to the front stretch of the track. We see another incident take place, and that's going to be Jay Latham taking a strike there on blue, his first. Of course, the 72 pitch, not very eventful when it comes to wrecks. These guys really have built some good cars here. Guillermo Sire coming around to the front stretch there. On his inside is Jay Latham in the yellow Porsche car. He makes the pass nice and easy. He comes back around the front stretch first, second, third, and camel hump. And right in front of him is Bruce Bullington as he makes the car go through with a nice coast on the front stretch. Glenn Burden and I believe Gabriel Kirtley coming off. Gabriel Kirtley, of course, coming off there in the camel hump section of the track. See my wife rolling around there. So we're going to see strike on red and a strike on yellow. That's red second, yellow's first. Jonathan, 1985 Hal says, doing good. Found out my track is back open. Well, that's a blessing. I'm glad, you know, he was able to get back open. I understood why he would want to maybe possibly shut that down. I know without T, I couldn't imagine keeping this place running. But there's always somebody you can pass it on that's just as passionate if you do end up coming to that conclusion. And I know I would have to do that myself, but I'm glad he's a very strong individual to be able to open that back up. It probably helps, you know, being around guys. So I know he's been in my prayers for sure ever since you told me. So right now, Frost King and Glenn Burden coming off. Glenn Burden there going to take his third, and Randy Kirtley going to take his first. Four red lights dropping out to green yet again. That is our first set out, I believe, for this whole race. That's how good these guys have been racing. As Guillermo Sire just decides to hammer down there on the last corner, his car just decided to go straight, so Guillermo's going to take a strike. That'll be his first. Now, Guillermo's about a 4-lap cushion on Sean. I mean, he's running very impressive best laps and median, so he's being able to hold it off. You guys know that it boils down to those tenths of a second on these tracks like this. And being that Guillermo is top dog right now with the faster of the cars, he's got a little bit more cushion to work with than other guys. So we see Bruce Bullington going to take a strike there on purple. This will be his first strike. "16 seconds left to go in the heat." 4 red lights dropping out. Guillermo makes a little squat there. He's getting a leg exercise going on. Guillermo Sire now backstretch second, third, now camel hump. He comes around there on white on the backstretch. He's coming in on Jay as we get a wreck there in the middle of the track yet again. That's going to be Frost King from two different angles. Frost King, Randy Kirtley, going to take his second strike. He's still got a chance, but it's very, very minute with 2 heats left to go, and as good as these guys are driving, unless people just get hyper aggressive and start wrecking each other and putting each other out that way, you're probably looking at your first, second, and third. But then again, Gabriel Kirtley's making about a tenth of a second each lap on yellow on Randy. So we might see if Gabriel keeps this kind of pressure up, might actually see him in at least third position. Just a little bit of a crack there that can move. Now after this wreck, that's definitely going to help Gabriel Kirtley out. He's coming around to the horseshoe right now onto the front stretch. First, second, third corner now is where he's going to end up. Gabriel Kirtley in there in the third corner. Going to clear these strikes out here and go over to the track mate. Take a look. Guillermo Sire, of course, he's been in the lead all race long. 118, 19.7 on average. Sean there, 114, averaging 19. Randy Kirtley, 110, averaging 18.3. Gabriel Kirtley right there on his hips with 109, averaging 18.2. Jay with 103. Glenn with 101. Bruce with 80. Special thanks to our sponsors, Fairview IT Management out of Owensboro and Bowling Green area. Give them a call for all your IT needs. They set this live stream up and got everything working and got all our Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all of that linked together with a business suit. I mean, got all of our live streams linked together through Restream.io. They just come in and did it all. Ran all the networking cables to the TVs, all the HDMI cables to the TVs, and they did all this within about 2.5 to 3 days. So that's about how fast these guys work, and you can see how big this area is. That's not no small venture, to say the least. So if you got any kind of things like that you need to be done, give Fairview IT Management a call. They also do phones. Our phones are actually linked through the internet, so no matter where I'm at Lanes Raceway, if that makes any sense. Livermore, Kentucky Subway, 270-278-599. Also a sponsor here for the Four Crowns, adding $1,000 to the purse of this beautiful Four Crowns series. Give them a call for a big old Subway sandwich. Come over here, get a receipt. 10% off if you take a receipt from Lanes Raceway. Yeah, go ahead. All right, just had to take a small break there. Wife's going to shut some pinball tables off. Stuart Wall, are those flexi cars? Yes, they are flexi 4-inch cars. They're not limited whatsoever to whatever chassis these guys use. So they can literally use any chassis that they want. They can use, what's this? What's going on? Okay. All right. Glenn's good, he says. Okay. Yes, are these flexi cars? Yes, sorry about that. They are flexi cars. Some of them are running laser cut cars, technically not flexi, but they do flex. You know, they got different pans and stuff like a flexi car. They're just not stamped from steel like a flexi steel. Um, so some of them are using Mazzetti chassis. We got guys using Gemini, guys using Alioses, even a guy using a Parma Flexi 2 chassis. So, I mean, all these guys are using different ones. It's open to them to use whatever they want. You can still see how close they are, even doing all that. Um, the biggest deal is the motor and the gear ratio. The motor is an Eagle from Mid America, 606, and they're running gear ratio set up of 72 pitch with 332nd axle. Orange and green going to take a strike here. The strike system also, 3 strikes they're out for the heat. So if they wreck 3 times or hit the track button 3 times, they are out for the heat. But in this series, you can tell that don't usually happen. Guillermo Sire now out in the lead by 3 laps. He's been leading pretty much all race long, as we see Sean, the guy in second, wrecking on the worst spot that you could possibly wreck in, the last corner of the race. He says he forgot to let go of the trigger. Ken Lotz, awesome event. Congrats on the pro setup live stream. Great announcer. Love it. Audio was a little low on my end. Yeah, Ken, I'm working on getting what is that called? Let me look through my stuff here. I'll tell you exactly. I might have to swap over to a different thing here. Hang on a second. Yeah, okay. I'm working on getting enough money together to do Epidemic Sound again. That because we play copyrighted music in Lanes Raceway. You can kind of. All right, sorry about that. My microphone died yet again. But we play copyrighted music here while the guys race in the background, and we used to use Epidemic Sound to block all that out. So I've turned the volume down to where that it doesn't continue a copyrighted song. It has to be a certain sound or a certain strength, I guess, or gain, I guess, for it to pick up on the microphone. So that's why it's coming in just a little bit low right now because they've been blocking our shows here. It's fine. I know the cars, honey. So Bruce, Jay, and Sean taking strikes here. Sorry about that. I'm getting a little mind flustered here. That'll be Sean's second and Bruce's second. But yeah, I turned the volume down a little bit so whenever I'm not talking directly into it, it's low enough that it doesn't pick up the copyrighted music up 100% of the time. And if it breaks up contact a little bit, then it makes it to where that it can't pick it up through the AI. So uh, that's why I'm running it low until I can afford to get Epidemic Sound again. But that's like I think it's like $400 or $900 a year. I can't remember if it was 400 or 900. But once I get that, we'll be able to put the music on and we'll be able to turn it up a little bit louder. So I'm sorry about that, Ken, but I do appreciate you think I'm a great announcer. I'm just a guy here, used to be a slot car racer myself, and I do enjoy racing slot cars, but a lot of the times people don't like when the owner of the track race. So I just figured what could I do while that's going on? And the guys like it. We got a lot of truck drivers, if you haven't heard, that listen to the live stream while they're out on the road and they can't actually watch it, so they hear me tell how many laps, who's in the lead, and stuff like that. And they can just lay their phone down to the side and hear the whole race, especially if they miss one. Because that's why we got drops in these races. A lot of these guys, they can't make it every Sunday. Sometimes work gets in the way. I know Bruce, every 2 weeks, he can't be here. Uh, and sometimes even more than that. It just really depends. But nonetheless, we make that for the racers first and foremost. Uh, you guys help out a lot in making the spread of slot car racing and hobby racing in general. And we appreciate that every time you guys like, share, and subscribe. It gets out there. It makes the guys feel good that people watch them too. And that's what my main care is about is the guys. I really do like that they're happy. That's why we put 4,000 up on this purse. Well, 2,000 from the sponsors and then 2,000 from Lanes Raceway matched in track bucks so that they can buy more stuff and have fun, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. These guys are racing for fun. They can hold up some big checks and stuff like that, like big car racing and everything. But it's all a matter of fun. 7 seconds left to go in round robin, 7 of 8. Guillermo Sire still holding it down by 6 laps. And you can see that he's almost turned 140 there. Sean and him have been neck and neck there all race long. Neither one of them really having a whole lot of issues as to coming off. Now, some of the other guys having some of those issues coming off, but they're working on it, to say the least. 20 is the number to beat for Guillermo. It seems like he's always doing 20. 139 total laps for Guillermo in first, 133 for Sean, 130 for Randy in top three, 129 Gabriel, 120 for Jay, 116 for Glenn, and 94 for Bruce. Heading back over here to scene 8. Jonathan, 1985. How? I'll try to get the owner of mine to race. When I first started with my late dad, he raced occasionally. Now I do race every once in a while, Jonathan, but it's not nothing like in the Four Crowns that we do here or any of the series or anything like that. Like if we come in and let's say it's a Saturday or a Thursday or something like that, and there's not a whole lot of racing going on, and the guys are just testing and tuning. They're like, hey, let's run a race. and they don't have enough guys to fill the track or something, I'll hop in there and race with them. We'll have a good time on the oval or something. I don't take it too serious like I used to back when we had the orange track in the basement. You know, back when we had the orange track in the basement, every week I was trying to beat Gabriel or Randy, and you know, I took it quite serious. I never have raced on a professional sense like my brother or my dad going to the bigger races, but you know, it's always been something that's been kind of up in the air. I'd always like to do it, but just never really get around to the time of doing it until I started opening this place. And then once I opened this place pretty much takes up all my time. So I do root for the guys when they go off and race. You know, we had Mark Stratton go race at the Apex Mini Million last weekend, I believe, or the weekend before, and he done quite well. And then, of course, our guys went to the Flexi Challenge Series down there at Apex about a month and a half ago, and of course, we was rooting for them here at home. And then some of the big car stuff too, like Gabriel, he'll go and race road course lemons races, and we've actually live streamed that here on uh, Lanes Raceway's live stream, and it didn't go over very well because the internet there where we were racing at was not good at all. When he went down to Louisiana, it was better, but it's that subject of cell phone service basically. Nonetheless, those kind of races are pretty cool. I've even thrown around the idea too that it'd be kind of cool to get like a dirt car and put Lanes Raceway's logo on it and Fairview IT Management, Livermore Subway and stuff like that, and have it out here out front, and then try to train up a kid in slot car racing. And if they win a series, instead of giving them track bucks and stuff like that, it'd be cool just to put them in like a dirt car in the summertime and go out on the weekends and support them and do live streams out there with them. But there's a lot of things you can do to help support the community, and I think this is our best way of doing it. And we love where we live. I've lived here my whole life, so it's quite a good place to live. I got a good family and friends that support us here. But back to racing, the final heat here, round robin 8 of 8. Guillermo Sauer, your leader there on Green Lane, and doing a pretty impeccable job. Let's just say that at the very least. As he goes through the first, second, third, now Camel Hump, they got quite a few cars there backing up. Is Gabriel and Glenn and Guillermo all kind of beat and bang off of each other coming into the second to the last corner there. Or no, that wasn't Gabriel. That was actually Sean. So Randy, Sean, and Glenn taking strikes here. All right. Lost where Glenn was there for a second. Michael Marty, watching here from Livermore, California. I got a funny story about Livermore, California, man. So we had a guy come in one time, and somebody had ordered a sub sandwich, and at Subway next door. And I was in here working. I come in here, and the guy's like, "You sure you didn't order it at Livermore, California?" And come to find out, like that happens all the time. Guys come in here and order sub sandwiches at Livermore, California. So that's going to be a strike for Gabriel and Bruce. I got to get that on there real quick. Sorry, guys. Bruce and Gabriel receiving strikes. Stuart Wall, I'm watching from Oregon. We race scratch build brass chassis cars with plastic model bodies, 4 lane, 124 scale track. LOL, fun stuff. You guys are getting around that track nicely. They've got a lot of like practice on this, Stuart. Some of these guys come in and spend all day running on this, and that's the beauty about the way we got it set up here at Lanes Raceway. If you're a die-hard racer, we got a membership plan, and from the surface you look at it, you're like, man, that's a lot of money for a month, but it's a whole lot better to be a member here than it is to come and pay each time you want to come and get track time. That was something that kind of limited us back in the day, was you couldn't afford to go practice. You could afford to get in the races and stuff, and that was still quite somewhat expensive. But you couldn't afford to go in and practice every lane, because everywhere I used to go, they would do it by lane. Well, here we do it by track. So if you get a day pass, it's $10 for all the tracks. But if you come in every day, like some of these guys do in practice, $10 a day every day, that's $300 a month just to practice. So we have membership programs that's half of that, and that's how we came up with it. Like, what would it be if you come in every single day? So half of that is 150, and that's what the guys do membership wise. So they come in here, they practice, and then on top of that, all these races that they're running right now, if they're a member, it doesn't cost them anything. So they're actually racing on their membership basically, and they love it. And then that's money that we know is coming in to Lanes Raceway to be able to keep the lights on. So we kind of support each other. The racers support me, and I support them, because whatever kind of profit and stuff we make from circle track stuff, we go to order more circle track stuff. Whatever profit we make with drag racing stuff, we go to support the drag racing stuff. And whatever profit we make with pinball, we buy more pinball machines, and so on and so forth. And that's how we kind of build this place from the bottom. You can go back about 2 years ago and look at what we look like when we first started the live stream, and it was just barren to what we are now. And it's just because the guys have supported us so much. And when they support me, I feel obligated, like they're kids essentially to me, uh, and I feel obligated to have to support them back. So, uh, and that other one was Gabriel. Sorry about that. Got a little sidetracked again. But yeah, so then we always support them back and give them more stuff. We got our eyes on another track right now that we're thinking about putting in here. There's like, you'll never fill up that big old place after you get down there. It'll take you 10, 20 years to fill it up. But here we are. We're almost running out of room in here yet again. So we'll just have to wait and see. You know, I'll give what the guys what they want. We might just end up moving tracks in and out of this place. All right, that's the end of the race. Kind of missed the last little bit of it talking to you guys, and I kind of got off on a tangent there. Sorry about that. 160 total laps for Guillermo Sire, going to bring home a victory. Sean going to take second place at 153. What a race he had. I told you guys keep an eye out on him. Randy Kirtley there, 149 in third position. Gabriel coming all the way back. He's got it within 2 laps to Randy there at 147. Jay Latham, 138. Glenn Burden, 134. And Bruce Bullington, 108. T's going to go and get pictures made with the guys on the podium over there by the drag strip and stuff like that. I thank you guys for tuning in and watching this race, and pretty much watching every one of these races. You don't know how much it means to these racers that you guys watch it and that you guys support it. Nothing makes these guys happy. We had a lady last week, all the guys waved at because she was watching the live stream. The guys love it. It's really a big part of their life, and to see these guys happy, it makes me happy. Staying late doesn't mean nothing to me. We'll stay late with these guys as long as everything's good. Last night to get out here to 11:30 or so. We was talking about drag racing, trying to do some new stuff with it. So we're going to try to get some stuff going on with those guys too. But I thank each and every one of you guys. I'm blessed to know each and every one of you. I'm thankful for that you guys really enjoy this stuff. If you would like, share, and subscribe, it helps all these guys out. And I just love being a part of the community. I know you guys do too. And it's fun talking to you guys and seeing y'all's perspective from different point of views in the world. And then on top of that, we all share each of these racers every time we watch this. Stuart Wall says, it is amazing that you're actually making a go of this. Very few places in the country have it set up like this. Kudos to you. Well, we appreciate that, Stuart Wall, and I thank you for your kind words. But yeah, I'm going to get out here with these racers, say a few things before they go home. God bless you guys. I hope to see you next week for some more Four Crowns action. Remember, we got 5 more weeks of this. We're in the makeup side of things now. We've did our 6 first races. Now these are our 6 final makeup races. So some of the guys are probably going to go on vacation. We're going to see less and less racers most likely, as some of them are just going to be like, I got my 6 races, I'm good. Let's see if I get one of them crowns. But we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. We might see these guys every week. Who knows? They might actually be all of them trying to be the King of Lanes Raceway for a solid year. If they are, whoever becomes it, we'll take their picture and we'll blow it up and we'll put it on the side of the wall for a year and we'll spray paint their name where they're sitting at on their table. But thank you guys. God bless you guys. And it's a blessing just to be here. I'll see you guys next week.